Oh gosh.
All right.
Sorry, y'all. She's her and the nails, man. I had to laugh at them. Look, if y'all seen Abba and Preach in one of their recent episodes, they were talking about this B Simone, and she recently dropped a thing where she was talking about get yourself together before you ask the universe to send you this perfect man. You get yourself as close to perfect as possible. And Abba and Preach was picking on her nails, and they were doing the thing that she was doing it with the nails on the phone. Oh, we started crying. It was so familiar, but it was hilarious to us.
Welcome
to the J&O Show,
where we talk about
things that we were never told. I'm Jay.
And I'm O.
And now you know.
If you guys are new to our channel, please make sure that you like, comment, share, and subscribe. Make sure you turn on your post notifications so you can know when we upload, because you never want to miss an episode.
Indeed.
Also, if you guys are new here, drop us some comments down below and let us know ideas for show topics, and you want to write hashtag next show so that way we can easily filter through and give you what you want. Okay?
Yes.
So today's topic, we are actually going to be talking about how to know you connect with someone.
Yes.
All right. And kind of piggybacking off of our previous show. Yes, kind of piggybacking.
Direct.
Okay.
Yeah, good.
All right. It's directly piggybacking off of our last show.
Yeah.
If you haven't seen that, go watch that one, then come back and watch this one.
Yeah.
All right.
Right.
But
we went over why it matters. Now we're going over what it is.
exactly.
Right.
What is being connected,
Right.
basically, to someone. So it could be in a lot of different ways. So one of the things one might say is your kindred spirits, or you have a strong spiritual connection with a person, and you're like, okay, well, what does that mean? What does that mean to have a strong spiritual connection or kindred spirits with someone? That is when you and someone get together for the first time and you start to conversate, and the conversation is almost like you're two old friends.
You hit it
Basically.
off.
Yeah, you hit it off.
Yes.
You feel comfortable around the person. It's very easy to talk to them. You feel secure, like you feel safe, like it's a safe place for you to be able to confide in the person.
Presence calms you.
Right. All those kinds of things are ways that you can tell whether or not you actually have a connection with someone.
I will say, like, certain things might not make that list as far as connection is concerned. You don't necessarily have to have the same goals in life or ideas about where you want to be when it comes to your money. And you might not, and this is the part that really sucks, you might not agree on kids. You might not agree on, it's a lot of things that can be off, and you can still be connected with somebody,
right,
and have that sense of peace and stuff like that. And I think those are conversations that you have to have, and that's the point at which compromise starts to set in. Kids ain't really nothing to compromise on. I'm gonna be honest with you, man.
I was gonna say there's certain things that you can compromise on, and there's certain things that you can't. Like, you can't have half a kid.
No.
It's either you have them or you don't.
Yeah.
So it's like, if somebody wants them and the other person doesn't, then it's like
that's a deal breaker, y'all.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you, somebody who don't want kids and you decide, hey, we're just gonna try it and see. There is no try it and see how it goes.
Yeah, you can't return them.
Bruh. It ain't no,
it's not like,
it ain't no return policy.
I'm gonna get these shoes right here. I'm gonna try those on. If they don't work, I'm gonna take them back.
Boy, if you don't know,
you
return
can't take
policy
them back.
of them kids. and the amount of stress that children cause a relationship, we need to start lying to ourselves and act like kids don't put stress on a relationship. They are the biggest stress to your relationship besides probably money issues.
Right.
I don't know what else could, like, they are, I would say that they're more stressful than money issues. Because a lot of times, if you got money issues, they will exacerbate, they might cause you money issues.
He needs some milk.
Yeah, and it's because it's a lot. It's because you're responsible for a whole person, like a whole nother human being.
And most people don't understand what that means.
Yeah, it's like when, like, responsible, like, you're their everything. They're everything.
Yes.
And you know how sometimes people say in relationships, "Oh, you're my everything." No, buddy. No.
It's different.
It ain't the same.
When you have to teach a person
literally everything.
You have to teach them everything. Like there is no common sense.
No, you gotta teach them that too.
There is no common sense like that. They're not gonna figure stuff. They don't have. So a lot of times I've seen it a lot, and I caught myself doing it. Kids don't have common sense.
Right.
The reason they don't have common sense is because you have to have something to draw on. It's deductive reasoning.
Right.
They don't have deductive reasoning. They have nothing to draw on. And sometimes I've caught myself saying, "You didn't know? You didn't figure out?" And I'll be like, "No, Jermaine.
They didn't.
How? How, Sway? How?"
They didn't get there yet.
They weren't going to figure it out. So those are things, like I would say that's something, and it really sucks if you have a very strong connection with somebody where you feel like you're kindred spirits or they're the one or whatever. And some people have never come across somebody that they felt like is the one. What I will say is, what I've noticed is the more inviting I've become as a personality, the more I meet people that I get along with.
That makes sense.
So for a long time,
you attract what you put out.
You attract what you put out. So, and I've seen that in spades recently, because I was a very to myself, don't want to talk to nobody, angry, New Jersey, punch you in your face before I smile at you native, right? And no, I wouldn't punch you in the face. But what I'm saying is, like, you just have a demeanor,
right,
when you're coming from certain areas. And as I've gotten out of that area and I was able to relax, and my wife and my dude, my boy started to tell me, you need to work on being positive. I saw how having positive energy changes how people respond to you. I can't even tell you how much free stuff this man done got. Going to restaurants, like it's gotten to the point where almost every time we go to a restaurant, he gets something free.
That boy is good.
Like a drink, like they be giving him like he went to IHOP, he got free pancakes. Like it's like, what is going on here? It wasn't no deal. They just enjoyed it. I just threw you some extra pancakes on there, It was just energy. So I will say this, if you have a hard time finding someone, you have to check your energy.
Yes.
Because if you're giving off negative get away from me energy, guess what? People gonna get away from you. If you're inviting, more people are gonna show up. The problem is good and bad gonna show up. So you have to have discernment.
That part.
I'm sorry. But everything on this,
you gotta learn how to weed that out.
Everything on this here green earth is a little harder than you would like it to be. Like everything. I'm sorry. But like, okay, so those are some of the things to know, that you're clicking with someone. Right. The finances and where you see yourself can be a part of it. I know earlier I was saying it's not necessarily. I think the comfortability and the camaraderie is probably first on the list. I think second tier is having similar goals and similar ways that you see yourself. Because life can happen, like we said in the last video, life can happen to turn your plans upside down. Right. What was the saying? We plan and God laughs at our plans. So you got to have somebody that's gonna be there with you to survive all of the drama, how bad it could get, or how great it could get. Because some people can't handle being around great blessing, just like people can't handle being around terrible things. So both of those have to be, and you gotta, I'm telling you, man, you gotta have some type of connection with somebody, and if you want to survive stuff like that. Oh, well, we could say one way that you can see somebody that you like really connected with, though. Right. Because your emotions can fool you. Yes. So your emotions can have you excited about somebody. All right, so this is the thing about this thing that people deem love, right? People, and myself included, especially when you're of a certain age, you think that feeling is love. That feeling that you get when you're around somebody, that excitement, your heart is beating, they float, they don't touch the ground. What? They float, they don't touch the ground. They're Magneto, right? But good. They don't touch the ground. They just float, and they can do no wrong. That is not love, guys. Love has its eyes wide open. Love happens after the infatuation phase. Now, don't kick the infatuation phase in the back, though. It has a purpose.
Yes.
It has a purpose. Yes. All of that stuff, all of that emotion, all that stuff, it has a purpose. It'll let you know who you're attracted to, who your spirit wants you to look at as a possible mate. That's what all of that stuff is for.
Right.
Prayerfully, you be there long enough and you don't make such a big mistake that when it fades, you can see. Because a lot of people in that high-end emotional state would go and do life-changing, life-altering decisions.
Yeah, you don't want to do that. You don't want to do that. Don't do that when you're in the infatuation stage.
So let that blow over.
Yeah.
Let that blow over. And then see if you still have that safe, because the butterflies is not the safe thing that we're talking about.
Right.
Okay? That's a whole nother thing. Okay? It's peaceful. It feels familiar. That's what it feels like to really be connected with somebody. It feels peaceful. It feels familiar. It feels like a place that you can stay and be in peace. Not some heightened emotional angst of, you know, like, oh my gosh, I love you so much. I know I can never be without you. That's not love. That's infatuation. Okay? That will fade. And what you're left with is the person. And if you still have that very, you know, if you still have that we've been knowing each other forever, and you build instead of destroy, you're not bickering at each other, because, you know, a lot of people, I've seen a lot of couples that do a lot of under the breath stuff at each other. And guess what? That could be good or horrible.
Right.
Stuff like that.
Yeah, I was going to say, because it depends. It depends on the intent behind
it.
The
intent is everything, y'all.
Yeah, it depends on the intent. Like, if you're intending to, like, hurt the other person, like, if that's your intention to hurt them, then that's probably not a good thing. Like, if you guys are bickering and going back and forth like that tit for tat type thing, then that's not a good thing. But if that's a playful banter that you guys have, you know, and it's not, you're not intentionally trying to hurt the person's feelings or something like that, then that could be cool, because that's your thing. That could be something that you connect on, because that's just how you vibe. That's how you guys communicate.
Indeed.
It could be one of your love languages. You know what I mean?
Truth.
So that could be okay, but it just all depends on the intent.
Yes.
Behind that.
Yes. We never really did that with each other. The under the breath, we never played with each other like that. But that's just how our relationship is. It's not a good thing or a bad thing.
Right.
It's just that we just never related to each other like that. I've seen couples who do relate to each other like that. I've seen couples where it's a cute thing and you're just like, they're so cute the way they be finding each other and stuff. And then I've seen couples when they do it and you just be like, oh, we got real uncomfortable. It gets thick, bro. You feel the little shivers going up your arm. You be like, ooh.
We gonna go.
Yeah, I'm gonna just go home. That's rough. Okay. So I've seen it go both ways.
Right.
And so you really have to watch stuff like that. You can be connected with a person and stuff like that will start to chip away at your connection.
True.
And that's why you have to be careful of it. But the whole point of this is how to tell if you are connected. I think that we've successfully told them how that they can be connected. Hopefully, we started rambling at the end because we just want to talk to y'all, because, you know, we don't get to see y'all but once a week. She uploaded an extra video last week. You can go check it out. It was on some personal stuff of her trying to get herself together. You know what I'm saying? Because if you come into something and you ain't whole yourself, then you and your fractured self can come in there with them and they fractured self, and y'all is not gonna be whole together. Y'all both gonna be fractured. That's what it's gonna be. You gotta get yourself together so that you can be together for others.
This is true.
See, I'm just talking. I'm rambling. I'm stopping now. I'm not gonna say nothing else until we get to the outro, because I see myself just talking.
Well,
I'm done.
He's done.
Yes, I'm done.
So I guess we're done.
Yeah.
All right. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Be sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe, and tell somebody about us.
Yeah.
If you appreciate the content that we're giving, share the love, share the link. You know, tell people come on over.
Yep.
You know, bring their friends, bring their mama and them, their cousins and all of them. Y'all come on over.
Yeah.
All right.
Leave the kids though, because sometimes we have episodes.
If they small.
Yeah, it's probably not gonna. Yeah.
When they get a little bit older, because
I mean,
they need this.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
When they get a little bit older, but yeah, y'all come on over. Okay. Grab, maybe not the kids, but grab your people. You know, come on over. All right. But yeah, that's gonna be it for today's episode, guys. We hope that you enjoyed, and we will see you guys back here next week.
Yeah.
All right.
Burr.
Deuces.
Press the off button.